Okay, you have a horse who isn't quite sure about situations like vet visits, farrier appointments, or specific procedures like injections or deworming. And because you're listening to this podcast, because you probably have seen some of my videos, you have seen a bunch of horses voluntarily cooperating in daily handling and vet procedures, and you think, well, maybe this is the way to go for you and your horses. If this is you, this is your sign to get started. And I'm here to guide you through this process. Hey there, you are listening to the Cooperative Equine podcast. I'm Dr. Karolina Junghanzová, a former equine veterinarian, now a cooperative care trainer and certified trauma-informed horse trainer. And also, I'm your host in this podcast. In this episode, I would like to give you a little gentle kick in your butt to finally start training cooperative care, to finally start getting your horses ready for the real life. But before we start, this episode is brought to you by the Cooperative Care Intensive, which is my signature 12 weeks live online program where I teach you how to train your horses or your mules or your donkeys to cooperate in their care. And if this episode is meant to be a little gentle kick in your butt to finally get started, the Cooperative Care Intensive program is like an intense kick in your butt to get results with your equines and finally start training them to cooperate in their care and get guidance, get video feedback, get your questions answered. So if this calls your name, I will put the link down below this episode, so make sure to check it out. Now let's get to this episode. All right, so I have been speaking about equine cooperative care for quite some time. I have been speaking about its benefits and how I think it should be an essential part of every equine's education, because honestly, one day it could save your equine's life if they are okay with whatever procedure needs to be done, and if a vet or whoever is there to do whatever procedure, a professional, if they are safe to take care of your equine's health. That can save your equine's life one day, and I mean it, because I know that so many horses all around the world don't get appropriate care simply because it is dangerous to take care of them, and then essentially two things can happen. Either the professional decides, okay, this is too dangerous for me. I am not going to take care of this horse or this mule or this donkey because simply it is too dangerous. So the animal doesn't get any care. And I saw it. Unfortunately, it happens. So this is what can happen. And you don't want this to happen, because then obviously the problem is left untreated. Or another situation, a little bit better, can happen, and it's that it is possible to do the bare minimum and hope for the best. So I know you don't want this. I know that you want the best care for your equines. So why not getting them ready? Why not making it a game? Why not making it a two-way conversation when we no longer do some procedures on them, but we do these procedures in cooperation with our equines. This is a big difference, especially from the equine's point of view, because now they are active participants. Now they can tell you that they are not comfortable, and let me tell you, cooperative care is also about the horse being allowed to say no, or the equine in general. I tend to use the word equine and a horse interchangeably, but I want you to know that whenever I'm speaking about horses, I also mean mules and donkeys, because these principles apply to them too. And I have a mule called, or a gelding freshly myself, and I know that you guys have donkeys and mules too, so these principles apply to them too. So just that you know, I had to take a little thinking pause to think about what I was speaking about before. So yes, cooperative care is consent-based care, which means that horses or equines are allowed to say yes to take the first step, but also where there is a yes, there has to be a no. So they are allowed to say no. They are allowed to say, I'm not comfortable. And how to respond to their no? Well, it depends on how it looks. I will talk about it more in the cooperative care intensive program, but their no can also mean not yet. Please give me some time. I'm not quite comfortable with what is about to happen, so I just need more time. And this is also how a two-way conversation with our equines can look like. Our equines can learn to cooperate in many different medical procedures and daily care and other situations, but to have a cooperative equine, there's one essential thing that needs to happen, one essential step, and it is that you need to start. You need to start to get the results and you need to keep going. Cooperation doesn't happen miraculously from one amazing training session where everything changes. No, it happens through repetition. It happens through consistency and it happens through you being committed to making a difference for your equines. So I want to give you this little kick in the butt because if you want to start training your equines to cooperate in their care, there's no better time for you than now because in the beginning of September 2026, I am opening another cohort of the Cooperative Care Intensive. And to be 100% precise and correct, it's the first cohort of the Cooperative Care Intensive because before this program was called the Cooperative Care Kickstart. But since I rebranded my whole educational project, the word Kickstart didn't seem to be I didn't like it anymore. So I decided to change it a little bit. So it's now Cooperative Care Intensive and it's 12 weeks program. It is online and it is guided. There are live Zoom calls, each dedicated to one topic. And on these calls, I will also answer your questions. So in these 12 weeks, you will learn how to train clear start button behaviors because start buttons or start signal or consent signals are so important for cooperative care. As I said many times, cooperative care is consent-based care, so your equine needs a way to express their consent. And there are more types of consent. There is behavioral consent, but there is also emotional or somatic consent, and both of them are important. So I will speak about these types of consent in the program. And you will learn how to recognize them and how to apply them to practical situations. Then you will learn how to build a consent-based conversation in basic situations like basic touch with your bare hand, touch with different objects, because generally what we need when we need to take care of our equine's health is that they are okay with us touching them all over their body with hands or with different objects. And this is the most important thing. So in the beginning, we will create conditions for consent-based touch. And then we are going to continue with getting your horses or your donkeys or mules ready for other situations like deworming, injections, hoof care, spray, or clipping. You are going to learn how to recognize subtle signs of disagreement or disengagement from the training session before the stress level gets higher and before these little tiny subtle signs escalate into a conflict. One of the students of the last cohort told me that the biggest aha moment for her was that she learned to recognize and to respond to very subtle signs of discomfort, or basically very subtle no signals from her mare, and she learned to respond to those signals, and that was when it all clicked. It was when the mare stopped being so antsy, when this student, Jessica, tried to touch her back, because the mare finally felt safe and seen. By the way, I interviewed this student on my podcast, so if you want to listen to her experience, it's the episode with Jessica Michaels. She is speaking about this exact experience and also other experiences, other aha moments that she had during the first cohort of the Cooperative Care Intensive, which was then named Cooperative Care Kickstart. So this can totally be your story too. Maybe your horse or your equine is kind of okay most of the time with most of the healthcare procedures, but there is something, there is a little something that that your equine isn't fully comfortable, and maybe you don't need a huge aha moment, like I have done everything wrong and now I have to redo everything. No, maybe you just need a little push, a little guidance, a little something to repair here and there, and it will make the whole difference. Or maybe you and your equine don't have any experience with cooperative care whatsoever, but you would like to start. A perfect time for you to start is right now by signing up for Cooperative Care Intensive. One of the questions that my students or the potential students are asking is if this program is suitable for beginners. Absolutely. Whether you are brand new to cooperative care or whether you have already explored positive reinforcement a little bit, this program is designed to guide you step by step through everything. I prefer when you at least know a little bit about equine cooperative care. So if you are a complete beginner, please head over to my free online course called The Introduction to Equine Cooperative Care and start from there. But otherwise, you're good to go. So this is your opportunity to finally start teaching your horses or your equines to cooperate in their care. If you have ever been thinking about starting equine cooperative care, this is your sign. Start now. Sign up for this program and start now. Yeah, because I know what a difference it can make when you have the right guidance. When I started with equine cooperative care over 10 years ago, I had no guidance whatsoever. I didn't really have anyone to guide me through the challenges, so I made all the beginner's mistake you can possibly imagine, but you don't have to make them yourself. You can take advantage of the Cooperative Care Intensive program, and you don't have to try to figure this out alone. So we are starting September the 9th, 2026, so save the date. And if you're new to equine cooperative care, please take my free online course called The Introduction to Equine Cooperative Care. And if you decide that this is exactly for you and your equine, then go ahead and download the PDF guide for the Cooperative Care Intensive, because this is where you not only get more information, but you will also be added to the wait list, and you will know when Cooperative Care Intensive opens, and you will also get some extra bonuses. So make sure to get on the wait list. And if you know someone who would benefit from this conversation and who has a horse or an equine who doesn't like vets or farriers, or if you know a person who would really like to start equine cooperative care but they don't know where to start, please share this podcast with them. I hope it will be helpful for them, and maybe we will all meet in September inside the Cooperative Care Intensive. So that was all for now, and see you there.